Okay, so from the Windows Start screen, we'll launch the app. And you can see we've made some slight changes to the login screen. The interface is a lot simpler. The About text has been hidden. It now appears on the first time login. You get a pop-up, and also you'll see there's a space in the app where the About text is stored. So it makes the interface a lot cleaner. We have an option to log in on the left for member login, and there's also a section for people who aren't yet members. So in the future there'll be an option to continue into the app to log in as a public user, and we also have an option to register for people who have not yet registered, and this will load up a web browser and take them to the registration page within the PSAT website. And my details have been remembered, so I'll just click login. Okay, so on the home page we've made a few changes to the colour scheme and to the layout of certain items. I'm just scrolling across to the System X products list. You can see we now have the family descriptions as a 2-line excerpt, so there's a little bit more information before a user drills down to a family they want. And also on the message center panel at the end there's a bit more information with regards to your most recent messages, and you can see there are icons showing whether a message has an attachment or if a message is unread, and so on. So I'll just jump back to the summary. Okay, so we still have the simplified messages list here too, if a user wants to see their latest messages from the summary pane. And a new feature gone in, which is available from any page within the app, is the top app bar navigation. So I've just pulled down at the top of the screen, and this is basically used so that wherever a user is within the app they can jump to any section they want. So it would be very difficult for a user to get lost within the app with the inclusion of this top app bar. So we have a drop down here for a user to start a new build. At the moment there's only the option to do a new system, and here there's a Your Build section where a user can jump to any of their build summaries. We also have Your Quotes, Message Center, and also a home link. So if I just pinch the screen again to do a semantic zoom and jump to System X products, and then we'll choose a family. I'm going to go for 3650 M4. So tapped on that to go to the family details page. There's been some slight changes to the layout of this page. The same information restrictions apply within the app as they do on the website. So dependent on what type of user has logged in, they see certain information. And I've scrolled along to the Literature Center panel within this page, and scrolling up there's a Documents option at the bottom. I'll tap on that. We can see this is the page containing all of the documents related to this family. So if I select one of these, we have two options for these documents. We can either open the document, or we can save the document to the local machine that we're running the app on. So just by tapping open, a progress indicator comes on and the document is opened. If I flick back to the app, select the item again and tap on Save Local, you'll see it brings up an Explorer type view, so you can choose the location you want to save this file to on this machine. We're not going to save this at this point, so we'll click Cancel. And I'll jump back to the family details page. So here's an example of where we want to jump to another section within the app from a page. Pull down the top app bar, click on Build Center, click on New System. This then takes us to the Build a New System page. I'll select a family from here. we've now brought up all of the parts related to this family. We can see the number of parts and a short description of the chosen family. We can then choose a part to build by tapping. Now this takes us to the Quick Bic style builder within the app. We can add parts from here, so if I add one of this processor part and say two of this part, the parts have been updated. But in addition to this, we now have a new option to bring up the bottom app bar with build options. We have a save build option. If I tap on this, we can then save this build. So we can give this build a reference. So if I call it test demo build, we then have the option to save this build without adding to a solution, or if we like, we can add to a solution. So I'm going to select add to a solution. You're then greeted with additional options. You can select how many of this build you want to add. So we can add one, for example. We can choose whether to add to a new solution or an existing solution. So if I choose new solution, you see we have fields to enter the reference, the description. If we select existing, you see we've got a drop down box with all of our saved solutions. So for this demonstration, I'm going to select a new solution, enter a name to this field, and some description text. And then we can choose to create this solution and save the build. Now this has saved this build. It also has created this new solution and added that build to it. So we've been redirected to the Your Solutions summary page. This is because we chose to add the build to a solution. If we chose not to, we would have been redirected to the Your Systems summary page. So this is our solution we've just created. It's called Solution 1. You can see it has one system added to it with the total cost, and we can tap this solution to drill down. Here you can see we have more detail relating to this solution. We can see which systems have been added and the quantity that have been added. So if we click back, on top of this, we can also see all of our systems. Similarly, we can drill down into a specific system. So if I choose the build that we've just created, all of the information for this unit has been saved here, the availability, and also a breakdown of the parts that we added to this build. If we just pull up the bottom app bar, you can see we have various options, and the only active option we have at the moment is the option to add to a solution. So if we wanted to add this system to a different solution, or maybe add more quantities to the solution we added to already, we can do that via this link. If I pull down the top app bar again, we can jump to your saved blade servers. Similarly, we can drill down on these. A similar laid out page, except the breakdown summary is slightly different in layout due to the data related to this type of save. We can pull down the app bar again. We can jump to storage systems. These are all our saved storage systems on this user. We can tap one to drill down. And this is our storage breakdown. The difference with the storage breakdown here is you can see parts have been selected for this certain choice, and we can tap on details to drill down on this particular part within the build. So if I tap on details there, this then takes us to a detail page for this particular component of this build. We have all the extended spec and further information. Again, very similar layout to the other detail pages, such as the parts and the families. We show you your other build, your user build areas. We have your tape libraries. These are our saved tape libraries. We can drill down to these. Again, this is a breakdown of the saved tape library. And the final save area is your rack and UPS. And we could access it via this, but I'm going to go back to the home page, go to the summary panel, and you can see to all the areas we've just looked at, we have all of the links here. We have your solutions, your systems, blade, tape, storage, and here we have an option for rack and UPS, and this will take us to the same place as the rack and UPS link would have in the top app bar. We can drill down onto one of our saved racks, scroll along, see we have a breakdown for this saved item too.